I still say the wrong things at some times. Know that this is a journey for everybody, and hopefully we're trying to create this to be a safe space for you to take risks, ask questions. It's okay to not know. A lot of us don't know. Nobody knows everything, and that's what these kinds of workshops are for. So, talking about the theme of today, strengthening the chains of support, is being an ally. And when you're an ally, you start from within. And a lot of these workshops are going to be starting to talk about that. What does it mean to be an ally from within and to take that first step? You have already taken that first step just by being here and wanting to learn today. Also, being an ally, as I kind of alluded, we have lots of letters in our LGBT alphabet. I encourage people within the rainbow to also examine what it looks like to be an ally to other alphabets, to other letters. So just because I'm gay doesn't automatically make me an ally to transgender individuals, or individuals that experience life as bisexuals or lesbians. There's been lots of history where these communities have not always seen eye to eye and have not always supported each other. So if you identify as heterosexual, just know that there's a whole bunch of us that needs your support. And those of us that identify within the LGBT rainbow know that there is a lot of support that needs to be needed from you too. A friend of mine talks about when she really kind of took the plunge in being an ally of coming out. She had her own coming out experience of becoming a straight ally. And that's a pretty strong statement. To openly say, I support individuals in my community that identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. In a community that's not supportive, that's a pretty strong statement, not only politically, but socially. And so know that you are taking that step, if you decide to openly take that step, that's a pretty big step, and at the same time, that can be a pretty isolating step. My straight friend in Oregon talks about a hallway experience. When she decided to openly come out as a straight ally, she no longer accepted heteronormative stereotypes, jokes, side comments. That was no longer part of her experience, and at some level, she was now excluded from that community. Being identified as heterosexual, she won't necessarily know what it's like to be lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. And so it causes this hallway experience that she's shut out from one, and not completely because it's not her own experience, part of the other. And that can be pretty isolating. So again, I ask you, with that in mind, to look around. This is your community of support. This is our community. And you no longer have to be in that hallway alone. You have each other and we have you. It's important to build a network because we have this kind of support. We have this support for each other, and that's what kind of the theme for today is really about. Is what is that supporting everyone? What do I need to do? What do you need to do? What does that mean? Again, I ask you and remind you, it's okay to ask those questions. There are no dumb questions. As trite as it may sound, it really is very, very true. You know, when I came out as gay when I was about 14 to 16, I had absolutely no idea what the letters were. I knew my own experience. But I had lots and lots of questions. So again, a friend of mine in DC has this great saying, just because you are doesn't mean you understand. And just because you aren't doesn't mean you don't want to learn. So I'm going to ask us to kind of embrace that going forward in today. So, I've talked at you for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to ask you to start talking to each other. Just to start building that network. But first I want you to take 1 minute and think about a question you have that you want maybe discussed. Maybe not answered, but at least discussed for today. Let's take a second. Now I'm going to ask you to pick one person, hopefully, that you don't know very, very well. Introduce yourself. Maybe say a little bit about why you're here for today, and exchange those questions.